Getting better clients is actually pretty easy in 2026 because most coaches are doing exactly what everyone else is doing, chasing anyone who will pay, posting random tips, and trying to go viral while saying, I help busy people get fitter, stronger, and healthier, and literally just sounding like everyone else and wondering why no one special shows up. Today, I want to help you do something most coaches never do on purpose to stop chasing everyone and get brutally clear on who your best clients actually are. My name's Coach Dylan. I've been coaching for 13 years. I've owned two gyms. I've coached dozens of athletes, national and world champions. And in that process, I've had hundreds of what I would call genuine dream clients. I've also had the other side, the red flag clients who drain you, haggle, they ghost you, and they make you question why you got into this in the first place. The difference between those two worlds was not an algorithm hack. It was who I decided my work was for and who I was willing to stop chasing. So, in this episode, I'm going to walk you through a simple process to identify exactly who your A grade clients are, spot the red clients you need to stop building your business around, and write one clear sentence about your best clients that you can use in your offer, content, and sales. And this is step one in becoming uninvisible to the right people. So, let's get stuck into it. So, early on in my career, I was in the same place as most coaches. My avatar was basically anyone with a pulse and a credit card, anyone that would pay me essentially. If you could fog a mirror and see money to my bank account, I was interested and I could help you. And I genuinely thought I should try to help everybody because that's what I got into it for the first place. But I trained gym pop, CrossFitters, grandmas in a horrendously tough boot camp in the park that I'm extremely embarrassed about because I absolutely flogged those two ladies. But they still reach out to me here and there, so I can't have been that bad. People who wanted to lose weight, people whose partner wanted them to train more than they did. And if I'm honest, I was just basically chasing anyone who would pay. And it worked in the worst possible way. I was full on sessions. Our gym was, pumping. My online started 8, 9, I think it's even maybe 10 years ago now. But I was all over the place with programming. Literally, I was spending all my weekends, building everything for anyone I possibly could. That left me exhausted, it left me burnt out, and it left me in a place wondering if I could carry on. And in that process too, I still wasn't making the money or the impact I wanted. My bank account there was money in there, but in reality, I thought, shit, I'm working 80-hour weeks and I'm doing a lot for a lot of people, but it just wasn't quite adding up, which meant there was no pattern to who I was helping. And that actually looked like there was no pattern to my results, my referrals, and my content. And basically, it just made it very challenging because I had to constantly change. Then something shifted in me. At some point, I stopped asking who will pay me and I started asking, who do I actually do my best work for? Okay. For me, that led to female athletes and women who were serious lifters. Okay. Women who wanted to pick up a barbell, do it the right way, and build something of themselves by getting very, very strong. It wasn't not the people who kind of wanted to get better, okay? It was people who were already bought into lifting and wanted to do it properly. These were more intermediate people or people who had, an outlook on life of like, I can step up to the challenge, I can do this, and those were my people I could do my best work with. Around that time is when I got my first professional level athlete, and it sort of it blew my mind in a way. And the crazy thing was, why it blew my mind so much, it wasn't magic. It was because my content started to speak to one type of person. She literally reached out to me and said, Bro, I fucking love what you're doing, and I really want to see if we can work together. My offer started promising one type of result. I knew that I could help this person with this thing, and I was going to be the best in the world at it. My language stopped being general fitness and became very specific. And this is why you see so many people stuck right now is they're trying to do really broad stuff when rather than like sticking to the basics, rather than being specific with what your expertise can help with. From that point on, my best clients started feeling like, oh, this is for me. They literally thought like, holy shit, you've been speaking to me. That's what I want for you, but you can't do that if you're still in. I help anyone who wants to get fitter, stronger, and healthier. So let's fix that, okay? So first we need to zoom out, okay? And if we look at it from a zoomed out perspective of what coaching is, there's one of these three big buckets. Okay, so health, wealth, relationships. Health is the body, energy, performance, strength, and physique. Wealth is business, career, and money. relationships, dating, marriage, parenting, social skills. As a coach or a gym owner, you're almost certainly in health, and there are some interloops over all three of them. But the main thing that you can really leverage and go all in on is the health perspective. And I see too many coaches try to go across all of this when really, if you just narrow it down, it's much, much easier. So when we look at that, strength, physique, performance, pain-free movement, energy, confidence, etc. Within health, you have to choose a lane, okay? And so you can't just say I help people get stronger. It's too general. It's too broad. It's like, is that helping someone start their first barbell lift? Is that helping someone get a little bit stronger on their program at the gym? They just go to a 24-hour gym. Better examples are I do strength and performance for field sport athletes. Even better, I do strength and performance for NRLW ladies, which is what I do. I do strength and muscle for busy professionals. I do strength and muscle for FIFO workers. I do strength, muscle, and performance for mums getting back to work. Physique and body comp for women 30 to 45. Okay, so you pick a lane, you pick someone that you're going to help with. This could also be powerlifters, hybrid athletes, men 40 plus who want to be strong and not broken. Right now, you're probably talking to a combination of all of those at once. And so your message sounds like I help busy fucking professionals get fitter, stronger, and healthier. Honestly, if I hear that one more time, it's just like, no wonder you don't stand out. As I help these people get fitter and stronger and healthier. And it's like, I hear so many coaches come to me and they're like, yeah, I help busy professionals get fitter, stronger, and healthier. And it's like, cool. So does everyone else on the planet. If you can tell me exactly what a busy professional is, cool. Because you go talk to so-called busy professionals, they don't even know what you're talking about. Okay. So no one hears it and no one thinks, holy shit, that's me. Okay. So your first step in this is to pick your big bucket. And for you guys, it should be health. It should be something specific in that health lane where it's performance, physique, it could be longevity, whatever it is, you have to pick something inside that and then go down one or two lanes as well. Then you want to pick your lane inside that bucket, narrow it down. Cool. I work on longevity for men who are 40 who want to reclaim their youth or wind back the clock. Okay, so you really need to go into that. I work with people who want to go from being the strongest in your gym to the strongest on the platform. Okay, that's a very cool angle. I help you go from the strongest in your gym to the strongest on the platform and win your first powerlifting competition. Okay, very, very cool. So now that we've got that, we're going to narrow it even more. Okay. And this is where, this is where you actually get paid. Okay. So once you've picked your general lane, you need to pick the right people inside it because not all potential clients are created equal. Okay. Some are broke, some are not in enough pain. Okay. Some are impossible to reach or in a shrinking market. Okay. So we want who I call WHAC clients. Okay. So they're willing, in real pain, and ready to do something. They're ready to move. Okay, they have money or access to it. They can afford premium coaching. We don't want people without money because you're a premium coach. We want you to have people with money and are willing to invest. They're accessible, easy to find and talk to. They're consistent. Okay, it's growing or at least a stable segment. So say for example of this is people 40 plus who are focused on longevity. That is a growing market. Okay, let's say 80-year-olds who want to pick up powerlifting. That's a market that's shrinking. Okay, it's getting smaller and smaller body. Yeah, so you want to pick a market that's consistent and growing. And if you can nail all of those, they're winning, are willing, they have money, they're accessible, and it's consistently growing. Then you have what we call a WHAC client, and that's going to whack it out of the ground. Okay, that's a client you want. Let's walk through this. So step one, list your three favorite clients. Okay. If you're not driving, do this with me. Okay. So this little exercise will help you get very, very clear and make you understand that you already have your next best client. It's your current clients. So what I want you to write down is 3 to 5 of your favorite past or current clients. Okay, people you've loved working with, who got good results and who didn't drain you. Okay, just their names or initials are absolutely fine. When you go into content and stuff like this, you can actually just think, I'm speaking to that specific person today. What can I help them with through my content? Step number 2 is you're going to score them with a WHAC. Okay, for each of those clients, score them 1 to 5 on each of these. Okay, so number 1 is are they willing or in pain? Were they in real pain about their situation? Did they feel stuck at the gym and they're like, I'd really like to get stronger, but I've got to the point where doing it on my own is just not working anymore? Or was it just would be nice to change? Okay, they're like, oh, I'd like to be stronger, but I only really go to the gym a couple days a week. Okay, rate that score 1 to 5. Do they have money? Could they comfortably pay your real prices? You don't have to discount them. They're just like, shit, is that all the price was? I thought it would have been more. Okay, so 1 to 5, one being this is like they haggled the shit out of you and like got the biggest discount they ever possibly could. Five is like, oh, I really thought it would have been more, and they upgrade to your next programs as well. Then we look at accessible. Are there obvious places where hundreds of thousands or thousands of them, people hang out like that, online or in person. For example, okay, like if you're on Instagram, there's something like 2 billion people on there, okay? There's enough people on Instagram to find any niche that you need to find, okay? But it could also be, let's say in person, and you're trying to find longevity clients, is there places like day spas, the recovery centers that come out? There's a lot of places now that have, bath houses and stuff like that, that are people that are 30, 40 plus who are really looking to take their health to the next level. Okay. Is there enough of those in your city? Okay. Is there enough of them within where you live to be able to go and tap into this? Okay. Consistent and growing. Are there more of these people now than there were 3 years ago? Definitely for me as well, like 40 plus, 100%. Or is this a niche that's shrinking or fragile? Okay, so let's take something like CrossFit. CrossFit's a shrinking niche. Okay, it's gotten smaller over the last 3 years. It's something that's probably on the way out, where something like High Rocks is on the way up. Okay, so you want to ride a wave. When you ride a wave, you'll find that it carries you much further rather than, when there's no waves at all. Okay, so that's what you want to work on. Just think that CrossFit is shrinking, High Rocks is growing. That's the wave now, hybrid training. It's going to change again, no doubt about it. So for each one of those, score it 1 to 5 for each of your clients. Okay, then total the scores. Step number 3 is I want you to pick the winner. Whichever type of client has the highest total score, that's your draft best client. Okay, it's not a vibe. It's not like I really love that client, but geez, they never paid on time. They didn't do the program, but they were my best friend. Okay, this is by the math. If you want a real business and you want to have a business that you actually love, do the math and you'll find that it works really, really well. What you might realize, it's not gym pop, it's an intermediate lifter. Okay, it's not any athletes, it's women's field sports athletes. Okay, like in just in saying athletes, so like it might not be all athletes. You might have thought, hey, shit, it's young men athletes, but actually, all my female clients pay me a lot more, and they do the things, and they send referrals, and they just love everything we do. Okay, it's not everyone at the gym, it's people who want an elite transformation. We really want to go deep on this because we really want to get specific on who you help. Whatever it is for you, the point is you now have a data driven answer to who do I do my best work with. Okay. And we're going to use that as your green light clients. That's the people that you really want to work with, attract, and get more of these. Okay. Now let's talk about red versus green clients, okay? Because it's not just who can pay or who can get results, who makes your business better by being there. Okay, so green light clients, these are our A grade clients or our dream clients, okay? They tend to value your craft. They show up consistently. They don't have to be superstars. They're just like, look, I've had a shit week, but I know it's on me. I'm gonna get back onto it. Or they reach out and they ask questions. They send you videos and say, hey, I'm really struggling with my squat right now. Can you just give me some quick feedback? Okay. They do the work without constant hand holding. It's like, in my opinion, check-ins are a great tool, but if you're constantly having to get someone to do it through a check-in and they're just not doing the work, they're probably not a good client. Okay. They pay on time. They respect your boundaries. They get results. They refer other good people like them. That's who we want. They're our A clients. They're not perfect, but they lean with you, not against you. Okay. And they make your life really good. When you have 20 of these, when you have 50 of these, your life feels lighter even when you're busy. Okay. You actually really enjoy these clients. Red light clients are D grade clients. Okay. Red clients tend to haggle on price, they disappear and reappear. They ghost check ins. They blame everything except their behavior. It's never their fault. They constantly ask for exceptions to change the program. to what do you think of keto? They drain your energy for little return. When you have too many of these, you start secretly hating your business. And here's the kicker, okay? So most coaches build their whole marketing and offer around the red group. Prices are set for the cheapest people. Think about this. I know a couple of people, like a couple of good friends that have done this where they've set the price for the cheapest people and they wonder why they're always dealing with churn and stuff like that. Messaging written to convince the most resistant. It's like, oh, we make it easy for you. We're able to, give you something that you barely have to try and you get amazing results. Okay. We do the basics. All you have to do is, go to the gym 3 days a week and you get amazing results. And they wonder why these people are absolutely terrible to work with. The offers are designed to make it easy for people who aren't actually willing to do the work. That's why it's so easy these days. You just flip it. You flip it and be like, I'm looking for the people who are ready to do the work, who are ready to show up, who are ready to ask questions. Hey, if you really like coach and you really want to do things the right way, I am probably the coach for you. Much better than the people that are haggling on price. Okay, so those are the people you want. So, what I want you to do is this. Mark your current team of clients. Again, if you're not driving, actually do this. So take your current list, write them out, and then put a G next to your green clients, your dream clients. Put a R next to your reds. There might be some who are yellows or in the middle, and that's absolutely fine. Then ask yourself, what percentage of my team, my roster is green? And what would my week feel like if I had twice as many greens as half as many reds? Okay. You don't have to fix it today, but you do need to see it honestly because the next step is to stop marketing to the reds, okay, and start building everything for the greens. Let's pull this together into one clear statement. So I want you to finish with these two sentences. My best clients are, okay, describe them in your demographic and psychographic terms, okay? So demographic is gender, age, location. Just think of that. Psychographics, their values, their identities, their beliefs. Okay, and for me personally, for coaches out there who are looking for a coach who really truly believes that coaching is something that we should be proud of, coaching and the craft, the art of coaching is something that we should constantly be working on, constantly trying to do our best things for our clients. That's who I'm speaking to you right now, okay? I'm speaking to coaches through your psychographic identity that your beliefs are that good quality coaching is something that everyone can benefit from, okay? So for example, my best clients are women who are 20 to 40, 25 to 40 who already lift 2 to 3 times per week, care about performance, and are really wanting to go to the next level, okay? My best clients are semi-pro team sport athletes who want to be faster, they're ready to step up and work on the little things that have held them back from going to pro. My best clients are lifters who have been going along for 1 to 2 years and ready to take their strength from being the strongest in their gym to the strongest on the platform. Okay. You've got demographics, age, name, where they live, age, gender, where they live. Then you've got the psychographics. What are they thinking about up here? Use real words your clients would recognize in themselves. Okay. And then ask yourself this question, okay? If I filled my team with only these people, would my life would improve because I could go deeper with programming instead of convincing people to show up. Okay. Right now I've got 4 international level weightlifters, weightlifter and powerlifters in my team. And it's like I feel so privileged because I can sit here and I can go fucking deep on their programming to make these people even better. Because another example of this is because they actually do the work and refer their friends. Okay. They get good results. They come in, they make the most of my coaching because they respect my time and they're happy to pay for quality. Write that down because this becomes your filter for your offers, your content, your sales calls, and who to say yes and no to. Okay. Every time you're tempted to just take anyone, come back to this. And I promise there are more of these people in the world than you absolutely realize. You're just not speaking to them. And because you're speaking to everyone, these people here who are your dream clients, they feel like you don't see them. They feel like you don't see them, so they don't see you. Okay. So to recap, you picked your lane in the big health bucket, okay? You use your WHAC to score your favorite clients. You identified your green versus red clients, and you wrote this. My best clients are, if I fill my roster or my team with only these people, my life would improve because that puts you miles ahead of most coaches. Okay, no one's really doing this work. They're just teaching you keep cheap tricks, cheap Instagram story hacks, and how to go viral and stuff like that. And that's the reason why people may have a handful of clients, but they're never getting anyone they really want to coach. So, next in the series of this, we're going to take this avatar and talk about how to actually speak to them so you feel like you're reading their mind. Okay, that's really cool. How to use stories improve so they see themselves in your clients. How to start building a system where these people actually come to you. And that all leads to my live workshop that I'm running called UnInvisible. Okay, how to make your best clients actually see you and come to you. In that workshop, we're going to get super clear on your best and next best clients. Speak their language so your value is undeniable. Build a simple system so they can actually find you. If you want help turning this avatar work into a pipeline of better clients, here's what to do. DM me the words best client on Instagram at Dylan Limitless. I'll send you the link to the workshop when it opens. This is going to be a short window when it opens. And a simple GPT I built to help you unpack and go deeper on your avatar so that you can actually write out your green clients and stop selling to the wrong people. Don't overthink it. Just pick the person and start building for them. Your entire business gets easier when you stop trying to be everything to everyone and start becoming the obvious choice for a very specific someone. I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day.